Hello and welcome back to League One Live. Tonight, we are back with another weekend of Sky Bet League One action. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay, guys, down below. But before we cut a long story short, let's bring in our co-host, a second show tonight. Let's bring him in. And it's not quite League Two Live, but we've got him on. Hello, Mr. Jake Tong. How are we, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I know you're a bit knackered after your League Two live, but no, I'm very good, mate. Thank you. I tell you what, Ben, I don't know about you, but I hate half-12 kickoffs. I absolutely hate them. They just take your whole weekend and they kick them about 20 yards further forward. But yeah, no, I'm all right, mate. I'm good. I've done, and I know you're going to show this because you've got a members video out later this week, but I've got lots and lots of nice notes ready for this weekend's action. But yeah, no, looking forward to going through it with you, mate, as always.
Absolutely. So, yes, we are recording a members video behind the scenes of how I make my notes, why I make notes. We have some behind the scenes notes of T-Lot that he doesn't know about that I'm telling you for the first time as well. Better late than never. Yes, I do apologize. Now, what basically happened was I basically come onto the show and we have a few teething issues, which I hopefully are sorted now. It is tough going back-to-back shows and getting everything sorted in time. Literally 20-minute turnover, quick change of T-shirt because I'm a big believer that I want to, try and feel fresh for a show as well. Let's come to it. If it didn't come live, Fleet will go down. Well, we did get live 3 minutes late. A bit like Butler. He's always late. Get that bus out as well, late on the parade. Still preparing for Monday night. Yes, a bit nervous. He is worth the wait. Thank you, Sue. See, I told you we were having a debate last night, about 10 minutes ago, that I'm your favourite, Sue. 0-0 versus Wigan. Evening, gentlemen. Hello, David. Thank you for joining. Hope we're all well. Right. I think there's only one place to start. Lincoln City 0, Bolton Wanderers 5. Best 0-0 ever. Unbelievable point. Wigan coming away at Sincil Bank by, getting a crucial win for them. Talk me through it. Unbelievable. As I try and find my notes. We are going notes. I'm scrambling for my Bolton notes.
That's because you can't find them.
That's because I'm going to me. Where's my Bolton notes? Anyway, I'll go off the cuff anyway. I can do it off the cuff. Bolton Wanderers 5, Reading 2. It's the second time in consecutive seasons that Bolton are beating Reading by the scoreline of 5-2. Dion Charles scoring 3 goals. His second, third, and fourth goal of the season. He is nearly at 50 Bolton Wanderers League One goals, up to 45 now for that man. 17, 16 in previous, and 8 in previous seasons as well. Slowly but surely, he is getting up and running. Ian Everett said after the game, the football club means the world to him. This group means the world to him. These fans mean the world to him. And it's really nice to see a moment like that. Josh Sheehan's free kick early on. George Thomason as captain. Victor Adebayo was back and was influential in the football match by bringing something different to the parade, scoring 5 goals, being on the front foot, back to winning ways, and expected goals of over 3. Reading had chances and could have easily been a different story on another day. Talk me through it.
Yeah, and an interesting fact that I found, and it will be on T-Flop later, is Dion Charles and Aaron Collins scoring hat-tricks and consecutive wins against the same team since the 1966-1967 season against Preston North End. It was also Dion Charles' first hat-trick for Bolton since when, Ben? Do you remember Dion Charles' last hat-trick for Bolton? It was last year.
Last season.
Would it have been last? It wasn't last season.
Season before last, yeah.
Yeah, so he scored a hat-trick against Peterborough in February 2023. Was Dion Charles' last hat-trick. But yeah, like you mentioned...
Oh, yeah, that went away when they won 5-0.
Yeah. So Ian Everett was under a lot of pressure, wasn't he, before this game? And there were talks that he was going to walk last week. And, there was so much pressure. And what I liked about Everett this week was that he just did something different. He changed it up a little bit. Normally we see Bolton dominate possession, dominate passes, dominate shots on target. Yesterday was completely different. They had 45% of the ball. They had they had about 70 passes less than Reading. They had 3-3-4 compared to Reading's 4-0-3. It was a joint most shots on target for Bolton this season, the same as what they managed in the 0-0 draw against Wrexham. So clearly showing that they've got that clinical streak in front of them. But yeah, no, really, really impressive. Changed it up like you mentioned, Victor. Adebayo coming into the team completely gave them a different option. When we've spoken about it before, Ben, when you've got Collins and McAtee, they're practically the same player in terms of they'd rather create probably rather than score. But they had two finishers up there and it helped them. They got up the pitch longer. They stayed up the pitch for longer. Reading, like you say, they were pretty good, I thought, on any other game. If Reading had played Bolton last week, I think Reading would have won the game. They played pretty well. They had a couple of opportunities, like you mentioned. But the main sticking point about Reading this week is the takeover, isn't it? The takeover of the Coeg family falling through. They've had the period of exclusivity has come to an end, which is really worrying because I said this to you earlier, Ben, but we were worried about Reading 12 months ago, and the situation hasn't cleared up, and there's been maybe 3 or 4 proposed takeovers, during that period of time. So, yeah, slightly concerned that Mr. Dai Yong is keeping himself in charge of the football club, even though he shouldn't. But on the pitch, fantastic for Bolton. Off the pitch, some concerns certainly for Reading.
What a man, leaving a £6.66 donation for the second stream running. Thank you very much as well. Appreciate all the donations and everyone becoming members as well. Membership video out tomorrow. So if you fancy joining in that, link in the description. For Leyton Orient to get back to winning ways was key last week, and they got a gift. The gift from the goalkeeping gods, where Charlie Cowman, was it Charlie Cowman? I think it was Charlie Cowman who struck it, and the goalkeeper basically scored an own goal and let it through his fingers. But to go to Stockport and win my 4-1, and they've won the last 2 visits there now. Obviously, Stockport went to Leyton Orient in style the year that they won the league and got up and did really well. The year that Leyton Orient won the league. 4 goals scored away. Ethan Galbraith involved again. 3 goals for him now this season. He only got 4 goals last season. 2 wins in 2. For Stockport, it feels like their good start has slowly started to fizzle out, and I know they've got a load of injuries, but draws to Mansfield recently as well, and the recent 2 away draws especially, and then this, you mentioned it last week and I kind of ducked it off, to go and lose 4-1. Jack Diamond got on the score sheet, which is good for him. As soon as we expected goals, Stockport were on top, shots on target were fairly even, but Leyton Orient, 2 great results. They started last season slowly, started this season slowly. Really good to see them getting back up to winning ways. Leyton Orient have now got Peterborough, Wrexham and Leyton, all coming at home. For County, they've got some tough games. Shrewsbury, Wigan, all to come. Barnsley away, big crowd you'd imagine as well there. What do you think?
Firstly, on Stockport, it's their first league defeat, Ben, since the 13th of February. So to go however many games that would be, probably 8 or 9 home games since without a defeat is pretty good. And that was a 3-1 defeat against Crewe that day back in the middle of February, like I mentioned. But I thought yesterday for Stockport, there were just too many 6s out of 10s. We look at games against Bristol Rovers, against, early on in the season against Cambridge. They've had players that have played out the skin, like Louis Barry mainly. And yesterday, he just had a bit of an off day. For Leyton Orient, though, Ben, fantastic. Like you mentioned, an XG of 1.57. 5 shots on targets, 4 goals. Absolutely clinical from Richie Wellens' side. It's back-to-back league wins now at Stockport at Edgley Park. So that's to beat them the year they won the League 2 title as well. First time they've recorded back-to-back league wins for the first time since the end of Feb. Any ideas, Ben, who Orient's last back-to-back wins were against in February?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't Fleetwood, I can tell you that now. Porter was in January, so it's not them.
No, it was a 2-1 win against Oxford at the Kassam, followed up by a 1-0 home win against Blackpool. So that was the last time they recorded back-to-back wins. But like you mentioned, Dan Adjei, just so crucial. Got 1 goal, 1 assist yesterday in terms of pace and getting in behind the Stockport defenders. I don't know if you've seen fourth goal. Fantastic effort from Dan Adji. And Ethan Galbraithben, 7th and 8th goal for Leyton Orient in 53 appearances. A really good, dynamic central midfielder. So yeah, really good win for Stockport. While you've got Dan's comment on the screen, I'd like to hope that Dan had a great birthday last weekend. I know they lost to West Brom at home. We did give you a shout out on
we did wish him happy birthday.
We did wish you happy birthday, but Dan, I didn't get to see you yesterday, like Nappers did. But I hope you had a
pleasure to
lovely,
see him.
Pleasure
to see
he's
him.
He's a great man, isn't he? Dan Richardson,
someone in that 4-0 gang I've got to like, because that Thomas, the horrible man is Thomas. Definitely not the most likable. Definitely not the most likable man you'll ever meet is Tom. Huddersfield Town, yes, please like the stream if you haven't already. That'd be greatly appreciated. Huddersfield Town have lost 4 of their last 5 matches in all competitions, 2 of which in Sky Bet League One. Their first loss at home since April last year. They had 66% of the ball, 1.8 expected goals, 180. Just Koroma with a goal, also missing a penalty. If that penalty goes in 4 minutes later, it's a nervy time for the last 10 minutes of that match. Cameron McGeehan scored his 2nd goal of the season. You got 14 goal comps last season. The former Scunthorpe, Barnsley, Portsmouth man. I really liked him at time when he was at Portsmouth in that midfield. He scored a great goal against Exeter to send Portsmouth to Wembley against Salford. Tarek Fosu getting a goal and assist as well. Really good to see him. Although he's not been getting goals and assists, he's been a big part of what they've wanted to do recently as well. For Huddersfield, again, a great performance last week. Can't be backed up. To score, could see 3 goals to Northampton. One of the goals, absolutely comical. What's funny, they've been watching Bolton. They took it from Bolton last week. Oh, let's do the same. And it's even worse, isn't it? For Northampton, Mansfield and Burton all to come, and then Wrexham, 21st in terms of expected goals. However, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats, slowly up and running as well. They weren't great away from home last year, but they got the job done enough. Great point.
Yeah, points. Huddersfield's first League One home defeat since April 2012, Ben, which was a 2-0 loss to one of your favourite teams, Sheffield Wednesday. Not one of my favourite teams, but yeah, it's great.
Not my favourite. Watch them yesterday.
Long while coming, but yeah, like you say, really good from Northampton. I think they got slightly fortunate with the own goal, didn't they, from Michael Hellick, the second I put him in my EFL fantasy team. He duly obliges with a lovely finish into his own net, which is a shame. But it's not to discredit Northampton. It's their first win in the league at Huddersfield since the 29th of December 2007. Like you say, 4 shots on target for Huddersfield, 3 big chances missed, including the penalty. Cameron McGeehan getting on the score sheet. That's fantastic for Northampton. They certainly look like a unit now behind whatever striker they're going to play up there with Fosu, with McGeehan, McCarron, who's come in from Stoke as well. It was Tariq Fosu's actually his first League One goal, Ben, since the 18th of January 2020. Do you know who he was playing for that day? Can you guess?
Rotherham.
Not too difficult. If you know his career path.
Rotherham.
No, he's playing for Oxford in a 1-1 draw against our favourite Kent club, Gillingham. Yeah, really good win for Northampton. Certainly came out of nowhere. Certainly when I was looking at the results after I got home. Really good win for them. For Huddersfield, like you say, 4 losses in 5 now. Is there starting to get some credit, some discomfort in Huddersfield? On Michael Duff, not overly too sure. But got to give it to Cobblers, a really good 3-1 win for them.
I mean this in good jest, what I'm about to say. And I've just ripped into Tranmere Rovers. Similar point in this show. I mean absolutely nothing against the supporters of this football club. I'm going to have a dig at a football club here that might not be liked. Come at me all you like. This is my view. You have your views. But Bristol Rovers, to spend the money they've done in the summer and not improve yet again is embarrassing. Yet again, year after year, I hear Bristol Rovers fans talking. I hear people in around that football club going, look who we've signed. Look at this. Look at this. Nothing's improving. They've not improved from 12 months ago. They've not improved from 2 years ago when they first come up. They haven't. And they spent £700,000 on a player to have 22 touches yesterday. And they've got good players in that team. And to be 3-0 down after the time they were, it was poor. It really was. And yes, I know they're away at Peterborough. Conceded 4 against Wigan. Griffith's confidence looks absolutely in bits. I think Ben put it on Twitter yesterday, and when I watch him, he just doesn't look the figure he was. He's flapping at crosses, and he'd make a good jigsaw because every time the ball is coming into his box, he's falling to pieces. He really is. He crumbles. He crumbles more times than Apple. Do you know what I mean? And he's a good goalkeeper. He really is. And Poku getting his 4th goal of the season in 6. He got 11 goals, 7 assists last season, 18 goal comps. Ricky J. Jones scoring his 1st goal of the season. He's only scored 27 in 154 games. He's been there a long while. They've had to be patient with him. He's probably not the prolific player they want. Achiboy can't even get a kick, which I don't understand. Mother's still getting his 2nd goal of the season. Bristol Rovers, look, they scored 2 goals towards the end, but they didn't offer absolutely anything. And this is a club that want to get into the playoffs. This is a club that want to challenge the likes of Lincoln, Blackpool, Charlton, Wigan, the next bracket. And this is even before we get into the top 6. We want Bristol Rovers to get into the top 12. Now, it reminds me very much of Ben Gardner. There's a Bristol Rovers account that put this out before. He ended last season atrociously. They lost 7 in a row. And they drew 0-0 with Fleetwood, or they didn't win for 7 games. They conceded. I know they lost away at Vale. They were honking. They were. The football hasn't improved under Matt Taylor. And yes, you've got to give him time, but the football is atrocious. It's boring to watch. The first 3 or 4 games, they got good results. They beat Northampton. They were unlucky away at Stockport. They were okay. They got a good point away at Rotherham. But again, that 0-0 away at Rotherham, they were dogged. They didn't do anything. And he's like Atkins at Tranmere. When you get beat and all of a sudden you're not scoring and not creating anything for 70 minutes, it gets questioned. Look, they scored 2 goals. It's great, but people stop playing. And I just don't get it. Bristol Rovers are a good club. And they're so abject. Like, they are closer to the bottom 6 in this division than they are the top 6. They are miles off it. Absolutely. Peterborough, brilliant. They are back to their best. And I've always said it, when Peterborough are on the iron, it goes easy for them. They make it look so easy. You always know with Peterborough how they're going to go in the first 15 minutes. If they go 2-0 up, it's going to be 4, 5, 6 at times. It really is. Only be 3, but Poku, Jones, and Mothershall all getting on the scoreline. I thought Kipianu, you got Collins in there. It's set a back line. They would have liked to keep a clean sheet for confidence. 8 shots on target. They needed that. The first one at home on the 4th time of trying, after playing 2 really good sides then at Lincoln as well. And
it's a bit harsh, mate. It's a bit harsh.
A great result. Bristol Rovers miles off it. Apologies to Bristol Rovers fans.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that, Ben. My stance on Bristol Rovers is the same. My thought was that Bristol Rovers would seriously be up there and challenging for a top 6 berth this year. And you looked at the recruitment on paper. Promise Cherry is a decent striker. Certainly has potential to score some goals. Isaac Hutchinson got 25 goal involvements for Walsall last year in a pretty abject Walsall side. Shane, give me a number.
Thank you so much for the donation, mate.
It's a bit of a barren spell, Shane. But yeah, no, like you say, I really anticipated they'd be a lot better than what they are. They've been strong at home. If you look past the Wigan result, wins against team you'd expect this Bristol Rovers side to be able to beat comfortably. But like you say, Ben, that's 9 goals now in 3 goals in September, and we're not yet finished for the month. And ironically, Ben, I found this stat. So Peterborough's last home win and Bristol Rovers' last away win both came on the same day. You'll like this. Bristol Rovers' last away win came in a 3-1 away win away at Cheltenham. Peterborough's last home win, Ben?
Oh, Fleetwood at home 4-1.
Fleetwood at home 4-1, both on the 16th of April 2024. On this one, I don't quite agree with you. I don't think Peterborough are quite back to the best yet. Yesterday, they were much better.
They scored 3 goals. I mean, in their attacking best, they're creating chances, being on the front foot.
Kind of, but I think Bristol Rovers, looking at the goals. Go on.
They expected goals, creating chances. Yeah, weren't back. But what they do 46 games of the year, look front-footed and look strong at home. That's one thing I will say, per se.
I think Bristol Rovers gave them a couple of goals yesterday. Certainly looking at the defendant they did at Wigan and the home game.
What do you think Bristol Rovers need to do, in your eyes? Because For every win they get at home, they lose one. I think I said last week at home, 26 home matches. They've won 10, drew 6, lost 10. And they get a good result. Promise Cherry is the perfect player for them. Do you know why? Good one in 4, 1 in 5. Bristol Rovers was a good 1 in 4, 1 in 5. The Lincoln are good 1 in 2.
Yeah, I don't think
Birmingham are good. Birmingham are good 3 in 1 at the minute. Like they have 3 good performances in one game. They're unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't think the right idea is to sack Taylor, to be honest, because he's a year in now. You're always meant to give a manager 3 transfer windows. He's had 2 now, and he's had his best player taken from him. This is a brand new squad. They had so much turnover. All those players that didn't want to play for him towards the back end of last year, which saw that awful form, out the building. He's brought in this new young version of Bristol Rovers, and with young players, you're going to expect inconsistencies. You are. 1 week they're going to be amazing. 1 week they're going to be downright awful. That's just how young players are. And Bristol Rovers are not in a situation in this league where they lie amongst in terms of budget, where they lie amongst of expectation, fan base, etc. They have not got the supporters to be patient enough to just expect inconsistency after inconsistency. They've got a new takeover. They are one of the most well-backed clubs in this league with the new budgets. They will be a top 10 budget for absolute certain. They're offering players mental money, as I've heard from 1 or 2 people. But sacking the manager is not the right answer. Another squad change, another upheaval is not what this team needs. No. They're still reaping the effects of Joey Barton. I don't know. I do also have a stat on Kwame Poku, if I can, before we move on.
Go on.
It's the second time in 2024 he scored in consecutive home games. He also scored against Exeter and Northampton earlier in the year, scoring last week and scoring yesterday. So, really good for Kwame Poku, such a top player. But don't sack Matt Taylor. Don't do it. If you sack Matt Taylor, Bristol Rovers will be looking at finishing in the bottom 8 for me.
It would be stupid, especially because I think you could write this season off straight away. I think that they need just to pull 3 or 4 results together. Bristol Rovers are a club that fans expect top 6. They've probably got a top 12 budget, top 12 product in terms of squad and management, but they're getting bottom 6 quality at the moment. Yeah. So they're expecting here, they should be getting here, and they're getting that at the minute. They're getting basics. Now, a great comment here from Jacob, who we're going to go on to. Blackpool have won their last 2 games for the first time since April, where they won 4 in a row. Great result away at Charlton. Blackpool are now unbeaten in their last 4 visits against Charlton, winning 2, drawing twice. Charlton have now lost twice in their last 3 matches. That was their first defeat under Nathan Jones at the Valley in League One, Birmingham fans. 4 wins, 6 draws, 1 defeat. Their last defeat coming in late January, early February under Michael Appleton. Before then, in terms of possession, quite even. Blackpool dominated that first half and were brilliant. Albie Morgan's 4th goal in League One for the Seasiders. He scored 8 in 148 while at the Valley. Blackpool going 4-4-2. Ballard and Joseph leading the line. Joseph looks a new player, running in behind. Ballard running and holding it up as well. Wingers crossing the ball, doing basics so well. And it's not even going back to 4-4-2 like I've said he should do for ages. It plays knowing the roles. It plays understanding the roles and it being simple. Midfielders get the ball, play forwards. Wingers get your heels on the line, get crossed into the box. Strikers get into the box, score me a goal. Fullbacks stop crosses coming into the box, help the width out wide. Centre halves head it and kick it out as way and give it into midfielders that someone can play. Goalkeeper, keep it out of my net. It's old-fashioned football. It is out of the terrestrial textbook of how you play football in 2024, but it's Steve Bruce, and he's managed at a higher level, and he's had some stick thrown at him, and I'd like to see him do quite well. He's 2 good wins, 2-2-1 wins. He'd like clean sheets with Huddersfield, Burton, Lincoln, and Mansfield all coming up. I think that if he can go and get, I'd say, 8 points from those 4 games, taking 14 out of 6 would be an unbelievable turn of results. For Charlton, in terms of expected goals, they were high yesterday. The first time that I think that on statistics, they've dominated possession, dominated expected goals, and then obviously lost the game of football. Nathan Jones' sides are normally sides that don't have a lot of the ball, but will hit you on the counter-attack, will win 1-0. Yesterday, Blackpool didn't give him a chance. Albie Morgan's goal was superb. Cut in, into the far corner. I thought Trier, I think that's his name, made a couple of good saves as well. He did concede 62 goals in the National League last year as well, which is really good for him as well. But again, great result for Blackpool. They showed the kahunas in this one.
Yeah, I'm just going down my list of notes, Ben. I'm just going tick, Ben's mentioned that. Tick, Ben's mentioned that. I'll stick with Charlton first. Like you mentioned, we've associated with Charlton this year just being so clinical, and perhaps we've suggested before it's not really sustainable the way that they've been winning games. Looking at the XG in the games that they've won, yesterday was miles higher than any XG in any games that they've won this season. 0.46 against Wigan, won 1-0. 0.86 against Orient, won 1-0. 0.61 against Bolton, won 2-0, and 1.42 against Shrewsbury, and they won 1-0. Whereas yesterday, 2.22 and they lost 2-1. So it's a really difficult one for Charlton. It perhaps just proved that we were right, Ben, in saying that it was unsustainable in what they were doing. Yesterday, I thought they were pretty lackadaisical. They weren't fantastic. They weren't their sizzling best until they scored the goal right at the last minute. But Blackpool, like you mentioned, Ben, they've just stripped it back to basics. You will, Matt Drayton. You're absolutely spot on.
What a response.
Mate, that was get over it, Jacob. Yeah, look, it's just stripped them back to basics. Like you said, gone 4-4 F2, and it's worked. It's worked an absolute treat. Must have stung for Charlton fans yesterday when Albie Morgan shut the goal that would inevitably go on and win the game. His goal, Ben, 0.05 XG for that strike from outside the box. That means he scores it once every 20, essentially. But a really lovely finish, I thought, under the goalkeeper. But a really good win for Blackpool. And like you say, they've got some games coming up. They'll feel that they can certainly go and win. I spoke to Callum, who's my man on the ground for all things Blackpool. He said they played really well for an hour yesterday, and the last half an hour was a little bit nervy. But they put themselves in games. This Blackpool team, we've criticised them under previous management for being poor away from home and folding almost straight away. You look at the draw with Blackpool, they are Blackpool. With Cambridge at the start of the season, they just folded, didn't they, at being 4-1 up. So this to me indicates that Steve Bruce has brought a little bit of resilience, a little bit of backbone to this Blackpool team, and they're reaping the rewards. And like you say, a couple of games coming up in the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks, they'll back themselves to go and get all 3 points in. Absolutely.
If you could leave a like on tonight's stream and get commenting in the live chat as well. Subscribe if you're new. We're very, very close now to 15,400 subscribers. A big welcome to the 150 new subscribers in the last 4 days or so. Birmingham fans, oh hello, as we come on to you guys now. Rotherham United 0, Birmingham 2. Job done in the first 45 minutes. Blues have now won 5 games in a row, won all 3 away matches for the first time for 40 years, since 1984. Jake was just a wee young puppy at that stage as well. Jay Stanfield has now scored 16 in his 50 games. He is the latest player to join the 50 club for Birmingham across 2 spells, getting 3 assists in that spell as well. A great result for them yesterday. Unbeaten at this stage for the first time in 16 years. And expected goals of 1.93 yesterday. Jay Stanfield with another goal, 3 goals in 2 for him. It's their first clean sheet of the season as well. And it's their first time that Christian Bielik hasn't been in a Birmingham team, and they've won for the first time in 21 matches, drawing 6, losing 14. I can do stats as well, Jake. We get it. 10 unbeaten in all in league matches, going back to the championship last year as well. For Rotherham, 1 win in 7. Average age yesterday of the squad was 26.72 compared to Birmingham's 25.45. A lot of players in that Rotherham team between the age of 26 and 30, and they looked absolutely non-stop. They had no legs in that midfield as well. Really, really poor. And Birmingham looks so solid, not just in terms of goals scored. They scored the most goals in the division. They've got the 5th best defence as well. They've had the most possession in the league at 68.5%, second highest shots per match. And also, they've only conceded an expected goals of 3.4. After a difficult start where they got a point against Reading, squeaked past Wigan, Wycombe, and squeaked past Leyton Orient in games that they actually dominated, but the scoreline doesn't suggest that. Comfortable wins over Wrexham and Rotherham, slowly but surely winning the games. And Davies at the wheel, playing good football, pressures on him, 2-0, clean sheet, away at Steve Evans. Great win.
Yeah, we should have seen this coming, really, especially at the New York. They've only lost one of their last 11 visits to Rotherham, so this is always a happy hunting ground for Blues. But yeah, yesterday I thought they were excellent again. I like the way that Chris Davies has them playing. They play this 4-2-3-1, but the double pivot in normally sits in front of the back four. Yeah, I remember it, Adam. Like it literally.
I'm so glad he's doing well. I will just interrupt.
I am.
Because all I'll say is a lot of people wanted him to fail. Not because of who he is, but how it's been brought
before we know.
What?
It'll be 10-9 before we know it.
No, it won't be. 30 seconds. A lot of people wanted to see him fail. But what's good about him, that he scored 3 goals in 2, shush the haters. Great to see him doing well because he's 21 years of age. He will flourish and he will take Birmingham to the next level. He is a top. He was unbelievable in the Championship last year. Yes, he probably paid a little bit more, but he will pay that back in goals and getting him up the division.
Yeah, he should be doing that.
That fee will be paid back in the next 2.5 years.
But for me, he should be scoring 3 goals across 2 games. He's a player that's gone for the amount that he's gone for. He absolutely should be doing that, and maybe even a little bit more. But still, 3 goals is a good return for Jay Stansfield. You've already mentioned Nick my stat on the fact he scored his 15th goal in 50 games. It's a fantastic record, but. Yeah, I think this Birmingham side, as much as we get the plaudits from going forward, the options they've got: Stansfield, May, Dyche, Jutkovic, Pike in midfield, Leonard, who can play as that tip of a midfield 3. What I've been most impressed about Birmingham, Ben, is the keeping goals out the other end. This was Rotherham's lowest XG all season. At home, certainly. And Rotherham are one of the teams that have created the most amount of XG without scoring particularly. So really good that they're able to keep Rotherham out. But yeah, good performance of Birmingham, steady. They went 2-0 up and never really looked like they were worried, would they? I don't know about you, Ben, but the comments just sort of brought it up here. Are we worried about Steve Evans and Rotherham?
They look so slow, sluggish, don't look themselves.
I think a lot of people tip them to do really well because of the early business and the manager and the fact that Rotherham United at this level and they tend to get certainly promoted or in the playoffs. I can't see this Peterborough Rotherham team worrying the top half of the league if that's how they're going to perform. Yes, they're playing Birmingham, who are by far the best team in the league and have the biggest resources, whatever. But still, they just didn't look like they were up for it whatsoever.
They've had a tough start in terms of fixtures. I think that, yes, and they've brought, 18 new players in. And what Steve Evans does a lot, and I know it'll be noticeable, I watched his press conference against Fleetwood, against Lincoln, and a few others last week, and he always hypes everyone up, and he does that to take the pressure off them. And so no one's mentioning him, he's not giving them a team talk. And I think he did that and it kind of backfired a little bit because, maybe Birmingham fans on Birmingham thought, let's show him we are the Galacticos. And I think the Twitter admin, I thought it was a great tweet back. I had a bit of a go. I'm not worried yet. 3 or 4 more games. 3 goals in 2 games this season, by the way. Yes, I know he scored 16 and 50, but he's had 2 games this season and scored 3 goals for Birmingham. Yes, but everyone that'd be massively appreciated as well. I I don't know where to go with this Rotherham team. I think we're at Barnsley next. Burton 1, Barnsley 2. Now, Burton, no wins in 6, lost 2 now, drawn 4. Their unbeaten run of 4 games goes unbeaten, but their long streak of losing goes on and not winning. And I said this is an important fixture for them because if they don't win it, all of a sudden we're saying they've not won in 6. If we're going to go back to last year, they've won 2 of the last 20 matches. The last time, who did they beat before those 20 matches? Can you remember?
What, Burton?
Yeah.
What,
They won
Burton's
back-to-back away matches.
Yeah, Bristol Rovers and Leyton Orient.
Correct. And they beat Reading last year as well.
They were both on, by the way, as well.
Yeah, like Martin Patterson. I remember that.
Yeah. We were big fans of Martin Patterson last year, Ben, weren't we?
Massive
big
fans. I've come in and I've kept them up. You haven't, Martin. You haven't. And they went away at Stevenage and won as well. And that was 2-1 as well. But Burton, third lowest expected goals. Again, they possession. They had the lowest amount of possession last year in League One. They now have got, I think, the top 8. I think they were 6th highest up to the weekend in terms of possession. He had 3 shots on target. Robinson has not won in 20 matches himself, going back to his times at AFC Wimbledon. Barnsley, right, we're saying we're on 9 likes. I've got 44 likes here. What's up? We are on 44 likes. If you fancy giving us like that,
I believe Richard's from Lincoln, and we're not particularly great at counting, so it might well be our.
I think what it is when you anyway, going back, Barnsley are 3rd.
Yeah,
Barnsley are 3rd. Now
Barnsley are 3rd somehow.
Somehow, and everyone's not mentioning that because you've got some great away results. They've won 3 of the 4 away matches. Now, Barnsley away from home are unbelievable. They've won 15 of their last 27 games. And it's just at home, they're so sloppily. Connell getting his goal. Humphries getting his first goal for the football club. Got 13 goal comps last year as well. Look, great result, conceded the most goals in the top 7. I think that'll be a factor that you don't think. They've got Stockport, Wycombe and Huddersfield all to come, which are big matches for them. For Burton, I can see a process, but it's just not coming to fruition. They have got some games coming up that I think that is Blackpool and Reading away are tough. Then the home games against Bristol Rovers and Charlton are massive for them.
Well, the one against Bristol Rovers is absolutely huge, given the way that they give out 3 points more.
If they don't win the next 3 or 4, do you think you'll start to ask questions?
No, I don't.
I know it's a new process, but
I don't think Robinson's job is under threat whatsoever. I was going to say Bristol Rovers are giving out more points than speed cameras, but we'll come on to that another time. But yeah, Burton. I don't think Robinson's any danger. I think you can see the clear progression. I was sent a clip by David, our residential Burton fan, of build up towards a penalty appeal. And I'm not focusing on the penalty appeal. I'm focusing on the fact that Burton last year were pretty much a get it forward into a big centre forward, play off him, play for seconds, and hope that we can get something in and around the box and somehow score and fluke a goal and win games 1-0 or 2-1. The build-up play to this passage of play, Ben, was phenomenal. The way they passed it out from the back into the midfield. Danilo Orsi comes short, laid it off. But yeah, I think the process that Robinson is doing there. Thank you, Charlie. We'll come on to that later. I thought they're becoming a very good footballing side, and that transition takes a really long time when you go from being a hoopball side to exactly. And yes, Stevenage have got wins, but I'd say Stevenage have probably got a better quality of squad than Burton do. But Burton are perennially slow starters, Ben. It took them 8 games to win in 23-24. Took them 9 games to win in 22-23. So you can look at that both ways. You can say Burton are really poor strugglers, or you can say, well, if that's the way, then we're not far off our next win because we're at game 6 now. So you'd maybe think that they've gone 9, 8, maybe 7. I don't know who you play next week, David, but Blackpool, isn't it, away? I think they might win that one based on numbers. But yeah, really good. I think the Burton scored their only shot in the penalty area. Ben Jack Cooper Love Now scoring back-to-back games since his arrival from Sweden. Elfsborg, he's looked a really tidy addition in Billy Bowden's absence. But yeah, Barnsley, top of the away form, I believe, with 3 wins. They've won 3 wins consecutively now against Burton as well. I just thought they were fantastic in terms of, they conceded 88 minutes and they still go and win the game. Do you know what I mean? That's a pretty, especially after the week that they've just had as well, given the fact that they'd lost to Man United 7-0 and they lost to Stevenage the week before. So, yeah, I think there's work to do for both of these teams. Like I say, Burton got the 23rd best home record now, which is a slight concern. But give Robbo a bit of time. I think they'll be absolutely fine.
I don't know what's going on in the chat. Something about moderators I can't see on my
it's a British aviation person. They want a shout out, Ben, but I'm going to guess it's some sort of robot.
Yeah. So
you seen it?
Sorted. Say it, see it, sort it. Yeah, I think
you've been on the train, haven't you? You were on the train yesterday, I can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. It will take time for Burton. They are a work in progress, and a lot of new players have bled in as well. I think Sweeney and Crocombe are the only 2 that really, Wrexham, Crawley. Wrexham won 4 out of 4 at home. Wrexham have won 43 of their last 50 matches at home in league fixtures. Only not picking up wins. Say again. Yeah, only not winning in the last 7 as well. Scored the most goals at home in the division. And Max Cleworth, 3 goals, 1 assist from centre-back after scoring in a pre-season friendly a week before the season started against Fleetwood Town. But he didn't have that. Elliot Lee getting his 3rd goal of the season. They've got Leyton Orient, Stevenage both to come as well. Crawley, no winning 4, drawing 1, losing 3. And worrying signs. Junica Turner scoring his 3rd goal of the season. His 7th goal in Sky Bet League 1. Although Crawley again had more possession and went to a Wrexham side and had a go, and were unlucky with 10 minutes to go not to pick up at least a point. The battle, but Wrexham picked them off. Wrexham, after a tough result on Monday, again, Paul Mullin could get his teeth into this one and get 3 points. He couldn't quite do that on Monday.
Yeah, very good, Ben. But yeah, a really interesting fact that I thought about Wrexham, and I know the possession stats have come out. They're only averaging 38.7% of the ball. Only Lincoln actually averaged less than that per in the league. But I think I thought yesterday they let Crawley have the ball and they let Crawley come on to them. And to be honest, I didn't think Crawley were overly bad. They had a higher XG, they had more possession, 18 shots, 7 on target, 468 passes. It shows it's a good performance from Crawley. And I thought they were slightly unfortunate to not get something out of the game, like you mentioned there. But Wrexham have got this star ability, haven't they, with their team? Paul Mullin, like you say, it's Elliot Lee's 50th goal involvement for Wrexham, 33 goals, 7 assists over his time in North Wales. Wrexham have won 8 of the last 9 home games. The last home loss was against Tranmere in the middle of March. So they're a good side at home, like you mentioned, but we're winning 43 out of the last 50. So, yeah, I thought Wrexham were okay. I don't think they were as spectacular as they had been perhaps in the win over Reading and the win over Wycombe, certainly at the start of the year. But they get the job done. Just a pretty positive. Good teams win despite not playing well. I thought Wrexham weren't fantastic yesterday. Crawley, I don't know how many times we're going to say it now, Ben. They're playing really well and not getting the results. I don't know if that's worrying. I don't know whether all this speculation over Scott Lindsay's position it is affecting the players and affecting himself. I know he came out and said in the week building up to this game that the MK Dons job would be a fabulous opportunity for any manager that gets offered that job. That to me sounds like he's maybe thinking that if he gets offered it, it's something that he might well take. But yeah,
players as well.
Well, exactly. You think about it, they've already got Maguire that was there. They've already got Liam Kelly, who was the gem of that Crawley team last year. Having Scott Lindsay at MK I feel like it would just considerably sort out MK's issues at the moment. And I'm sure you spoke about that on your League 2 Live, but for Crawley, it would be detrimental.
I think Wrexham are the best team to watch in League One at times because they don't have a lot of the ball, but the way they turn it over, the way they can go back to front really quickly, and it's not hoofball, it's not long ball at all. They play really quickly out from the back, out to the wingers, get balls through midfield, get midfielders playing forwards, running forwards. You've got centre backs scoring goals, stepping up. You've got strikers on the heels. You've got a nippy one, and you've got a big man up front as well. So you've got a bit of physicality, you've got a bit of pace. You've got experience. You've got George Dobson pulling the strings in midfield as well. And they don't need to have a lot of the ball. They are so good in transition and so quick back to front. They're unbelievable to watch at Wrexham. And Phil Parkinson has done a great job. And he's one that is labelled with dinosaur football, which is absolutely ludicrous. And for me, I hate the fact that managers are trying to play a certain way now just to try and fit in. Because if you don't play out from the back, Pep Guardiola 750 passes per game, and let's go and pass the team to death, that you won't be mentioned for jobs. Steve Bruce at Blackpool, nope. His style of foot. You don't mention his results and what he did at Newcastle. You don't mention what he's done early in his career. You don't mention that. People just go on the football, and it annoys me.
We're due to play Wrexham, Ben, in a couple of weeks. I know it'll probably get called off for internationals, but do you think we're just going to hoof the ball to each other and say, no, you have the ball. No, you have the ball. Do you reckon that's going to be between both centre halves, just constantly hoofing it to the other team?
I think both. I think that shows the difference between Wrexham and Birmingham, where Birmingham will dominate the games because they are better than you. Wrexham rely on not having the ball and having the quality when they've not got it for minimal time. For me, the next plan is to go to that step of being that good with the ball, which is a huge step. It's like going from part-time to full-time professional football in a way. Mm-hmm. It's really difficult. Wycombe Wanderers have scored 2 in every game so far this season in League One. 6 matches, scoring 12 goals. In the first 2, they lost by the scoreline of 3-2 away at Wrexham and Birmingham, before a 2-2 draw away at Blackpool, before wins over Rotherham, Northampton 2-1, and Cambridge 2-1. 3 wins in a row, unbeaten in 4, winning 3, drawing 1. They've only lost 2 of their last 13 matches going back to last season as well. They scored the 3rd most goals in the division and 1.7 percentage of possession, 11th most. So it just shows you that clear identity switching from hoop ball to long ball. Gary McCleary scored his 30th goal in a Chairboys shirt yesterday in 175 appearances. Teams expected goals just outside the playoffs on 8th. Cameron Humphrey scoring for the 2nd home game in a row. Really good to see him back on the score sheet. Only 20 years of age, 21 next month. Great player. The Cambridge 5 points adrift at the bottom of the table. Monk 2 wins in 20, losing 12 of which. 2nd worst defence in the league, but in terms of expected goals, 16th. Possession, 13th. Expected goals against is not even the lowest in the division, but 0.2 expected goals yesterday. And with Lincoln, Rotherham and Exeter to come, they're on the wire. They look so sloppy, so devoid of confidence, and they don't seem to get through key moments. And although they are in game in terms of statistics, the football seems very bleak and they seem a mile off.
Yeah. The last win, Ben, coming in that 3-1 win against Wigan on the 1st of April. And that was part of that double header. They went away to Barnsley and then beat Wigan on that Easter weekend, didn't they? And that's been it pretty much for Gary Monk. Only positive I can really find for Cambridge yesterday was Dan Lunderloo scoring in back-to-back games. I think he scored midweek against Charlton in the BSM Trophy. You know he's going to score on Saturday because you know who Cambridge are playing, and that's just how it works out. But also on that, Cambridge fans, if you are listening, Lincoln have had Cambridge's 2 previous managers sacked in Sean Derry and Mark Bonner. So if a defeat's a Lincoln this weekend, the Cambridge board tend to get pretty twitchy after we beat them at the Abbey. So I'm thinking we could well see the end of Gary Monk if they don't win on Saturday.
What would that be? 4 managers in 12 months?
Yeah. Bang!
I think that would be poor, wouldn't it?
But yeah, I'm just so worried about Cambridge. It's the lowest XG that they've had all season. They're conceding on average of 2.17 goals a game. Not sustainable. They're just giving themselves too big of a mountain to climb. And it's individual mistakes, Ben, for the goals. Again, poor defending, slips, giving the ball away in bad areas. Just really poor. For Wycombe, I've been quite impressed that this run that they've been on, certainly since the back end of last year, where they were probably a top 6 team from the start of March to the end of the season. And they just carried it into this year. Now 6 unbeaten in all competitions and 4 unbeaten against Cambridge. So, yeah, I think Wycombe were pretty good. A standard Wycombe win at home, really.
I really like this Wycombe side. I think it's got so
I
many
like
good
this Lincoln side as too, Ben. Don't worry.
I like this Wycombe side so much. She's got so much established League One players. Dan Udo, I like Cameron Humphreys. He's a young player. Kieran Sadler, Luke Lee, who's not in the team at the minute. Cameron Humphreys is brilliant. I think Aaron Morley's fantastic. When he's not on live shows or at the Fleetwood games with me, they've just got such a good, unique selling point. And Adams Park is getting back to being a fortress. Shrewsbury, 3 points from 7, lost 6 of which, playing a game more, mind, than most other clubs, a bit like Barnsley, 0.42 points per game. Lost all 4 away games, scoring 1 goal. That was yesterday. Castledine scoring his 2nd goal of the season. He's been involved in 40% of Shrewsbury's goals this year as well. Goals scored, 23rd. Goals conceded, 23rd. Possession, 20th. Expected goals, 23rd. Possession, 20th. Passes, 22nd. Shots on target, 21st. There's Shrewsbury's underlying stats. In every department, they are in a bottom 4 or a bottom 5 side, which is really, really poor. They are so far off the mark. They're a couple of injuries away from crisis. Toto Nsiala is so out of his depth at the back as well, which doesn't surprise me. For Mansfield, 1 defeat in 6. Won the last 2-2-1, 7 points from 9. Gregory on 5 goals, been involved in 22 goals, only losing to Rail Lincolnshire, and doing really well and getting over the line again.
Yeah, Lee Gregory's 66th League One goal and 158 apps. And Nappers has seen all of them because he only scores when Nappers rocks up. But yeah, Mansfield's first win over Shrewsbury since April 2008. I thought they were good yesterday, good value for the win. Despite going 1-0 down particularly early, I thought they fought their way back into the game and pretty much dominated it. Like you mentioned, the underlying numbers for Shrewsbury, just poor, ridiculously poor. Although the XG they did have yesterday, Ben, was higher than they had in the 3-0 win over Leyton Orient that they picked up a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, you mentioned about Leo Castledine. Shrewsbury, the lowest scorers in the league, along with Rotherham, Crawley and Stevenage, 5 goals all season. It's not particularly looking good for if you're from a Shrewsbury persuasion. I backed them to win. I just thought that there might be something. I just worry that Paul Hurst came in to get them riled up and to get them playing better football after the Matt Taylor era at the back, towards the start of last season. And they had that little initial spike, didn't they? And all of a sudden, they've sort of gone back to watching this Shrewsbury team yesterday, Ben, for me, felt like watching Shrewsbury 12 months ago under Matt Taylor.
But when Matt Taylor was winning games 1-0.
Yeah, well, passive, really unprogressive. They don't keep the ball well. They pretty much every time they get the ball, they're trying to play it long or into the channels for the wide men to run onto. I am concerned, and we had big concerns over Shrewsbury, didn't we, at the start of the season? I had concerns over Mansfield also at the start of the year, but slowly but surely they're sort of weeding their way out, and they look not fantastic. They look a decent side. I think they've probably got. I think they've got. They've been able to gather a lot of points because of some of the games that they've had. Certainly, games against Cambridge at home, Shrewsbury at home are games as a newly promoted team you'd probably expect to be not winning, but certainly in. And they've had a couple of, they've picked up the odd point here or there. So, yeah, just alarm really for Shrewsbury. I'm quite concerned for them.
Yeah, agree there. Who are you more worried about, Shrewsbury or Cambridge? For me, I think Shrewsbury's underlying statistics. All I will say is Paul Hurst is a legend. That's what he did previously. If that was Matt Taylor, they'd be getting absolutely crucified. And no one's mentioning Paul Hurst, even us, right up till now. And this is a poor squad. And they have had tough games, don't get me wrong. But to lose 6 out of 7 is poor. And look, they've got tough games coming up. They've got Rotherham, Stockport and Burton all to come, I believe, as well. I think Mansfield have got Northampton, Crawley and Blackpool all to come. The return of prodigal son CJ Hamilton there. who looks to have taken a bit of a turn for the better after his goal last weekend as well. For Shrewsbury, I'm worried about them. Right. Lincoln 0, Wigan 0. Another point on the board. Exactly the same record.
Are you forgetting again? We're forgetting a game, Ben.
Oh, what we forgetting?
We've done 10 so far. There's another one.
What are we forgetting?
Exeter.
Oh, Exeter, yes, I've got it here. Sorry. Exeter, 3 wins, 3 losses, 2 wins at home, 1 defeat, 1 win away at Bolton this season as well. After defeat last weekend in the last minute to Blackpool, a good result. Francis with his second goal scored 4 goals for Gateshead last year. 24.9 average age of that Exeter side. Stevenage had failed to have a shot on target and failed to score in 3 of their last 4 matches going into Wigan on Tuesday night. Quick summary.
Yeah,
that's the time. That was my last game I did. I was like, at that time, I wanted to watch Man City Arsenal.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was downhill on it.
I was.
Bear in mind, on the other ones, as you can see, I'm making a members video. So if you want to join as a member, $1.99 a month, you get 4 extra videos. We're very, very close to 70 members now. So if you could, that'd be appreciated. But then my normal notes. That's what Exeter got.
Well, admittedly, I was having my fish cakes when I was making these notes. But yeah, Stevenage away from home. I think this point last year they'd won 2 of the first 3 away from home, and they went on to win some further ones from that as well. Only 1 point from 3 away games so far this year. They were so strong away from home last year. Only 2 teams have got a worse record away from home in 24-25 in League One. Exeter, the complete opposite. 2 wins and 3 at home. Really good. Unbeaten against Stevenage in all competitions in 13 outings now. So Stevenage find it difficult to go to Exeter by the looks of it. Not really a lot to say about this game, Ben. Exeter deserved to win the game. Perhaps only should have been 1-0, but it was 2. They're a good side, Exeter. I think they'll bloody some noses at SJP this year, and they're continuing to do so. I don't know about Stevenage. I was worried about Alex Ravel. He has shown me glimpses of what he can do and as to why there'll be a solid mid-table side. But there are games in which he got the selection completely wrong yesterday, and they look like a bottom 8 side. So I'm quite concerned.
Yeah, agree with that. I think that you need to give them some leeway if we're giving Burton some leeway, because this is a new process, new journey, new manager.
Yeah.
All I will say is Matt Farley's tweet didn't have any explanation marks, and you say no smiley faces, nothing. You know it's bad when Matt Farley's putting a serious tweet out. I thought, oh, here we go. Katie, just in time. Best 0-11.
What a surprise.
Best 0-11. Lincoln 0, Wigan 0.
No, crap.
You're on the same point as you were last year, Jakey boy.
Yep.
Are you more impressed? You made a great point yesterday. I said I'm worried for your lack of goals. You said that on January 31st, and look at us go. 6 games in, for the start you've had, the points tally that you've got. You've only lost 1 game, 3 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. I think it is. It's not bad, is it? And you're difficult to play against. People are coming away from Sinsel Bank and feeling frustrated.
Yeah. We've played some pretty good teams, certainly. You know, Peterborough, where we could have won. Barnsley, a game in which we could have won. But yeah, thanks, Charlie. Can you put that up from Charlie, by the way? What he's just put about the podcast. See, he knows. Charlie knows. Charlie's a good lad.
You could also say the winning machine has stopped since the podcast started. Apparently, you know how Jake's my best mate and my co-host, and he's the rock to my thing. It's a really good podcast for the 0 seconds I watched of it, because I listened to it instead, because you can't watch it on YouTube yet.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, no, yesterday I think it was a game of 2 halves. I thought Wigan were the better team in the first half. They popped it around really well. I think Joe Hugel was a massive threat, got in behind a couple of times. Thelo Asgard wasn't as influential as I thought he was going to be. Ben's put there. I thought he had a poor game by what I've hyped him up to be in my mind, a really good creative player. Matt Smith in midfield was fantastic in that first half. Lincoln in that first half just had a couple of moments going forward. We weren't fantastic. We had a couple of forays. But the second half is where we really turned it on. I thought we were by far the miles better side in the second half. Completely dominated. Wigan, although they hit the post, we had countless opportunities. We were camped outside their box for not large spells, but certainly spells of that second half, and could have probably could have scored, but ultimately they kept us out. They had just had a defender there, like Will Aimson had a really good block towards the back end when Jack Moylan was in. I have to give Wigan credit. I thought they were excellently well drilled. And I said this, I've had this said a few times. Lincoln and Wigan are two really similar sides. They're trying to do the same thing. They've got similar level players, and often when you've got two players
as well, you say.
when you've got two teams like that, they often cancel
Similar
each other
history, both won an FA Cup.
out.
You won yours against Burnley, didn't you?
At least we win away.
Was that not a fact?
At least we win away at Burnley in the FA Cup, though. Unlike
and that's
you,
not. I went with Portsmouth yesterday. That's not on that. I came away gutted from that.
Yeah. I thought Wigan were good in the back 2/3 and were poor in the final third. Whereas I thought Lincoln were decent in the back third and the top third, but in the middle third we perhaps lacked a little bit and let Wigan control the game. So, yeah, it was a pretty bad watch. I hope that puts Sky off from putting as a 0-0 as a lunchtime kickoff. Who and ever would promote Sky Sports Plus, Ben? That wouldn't be me and you, mate, would it? We'd get in bother for that. But yeah, I think it's a good point. 11 points from 6 now. We're still 6th in the league. You know,
you're right. You can say that. I've still not been sorted out yet.
You'll tell me it's only 6 games in, but we are in the top 6, and I'd rather be there than outside the top 6 at this minute in time.
Love, right? If Lincoln were say 14th, we're only 6 games in. It's a start. Yeah. All I will say, right? I went to Burnley, Portsmouth yesterday, right? I think it actually celebrated Portsmouth got more than they do. Fleetwood. Hang on a minute. There we are.
He was loving it.
Go on the Blues.
But yeah, I think we've got our next couple. We've got Cambridge Saturday, go away to Blackpool, and then we host Birmingham. So it's a tricky 3, but if we can get 4 points out of them 3 games for me, I'd be pretty relatively happy.
If you could like today's stream, there's 93 people still on the stream, so please give us a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already as well. Get your questions in for the last. We'll go for live for another 7.5 minutes. We will be doing predictions. Don't worry, that is coming. So get your questions in. Play along with predictions at home. We have got a bit of an update on that. Sky stopped me from seeing Sue. Oh, devastating, Katie. Devastating. She would have made you brownie.
I saw Sue. She was very happy.
Was she? She must have met Ethan.
She was buzzing. But do you know what? Sue, for her birthday, and I tell you this to you, Ben. Sue has been invited up to the EPC for her birthday, which is our training ground, the Elite Performance Centre. So Sue is going to get a lovely old trip to see her Ethan and her gorgeous George. It should be nice.
Right. Predictions. Go for it.
We've got a lot to catch up on, Ben. We've got a lot to catch up on. I think the last time we spoke about this, when was that? Yeah, it was after we had the midweek, didn't we, of Charlton, Rotherham, Barnsley, Bristol Road. Oh, that was international, where I got 7 points and you got 2, which closed the gap up initially to just the 1 point. We moved on to the weekend after, which is where Blues played Wrexham the weekend before this one. Ben getting 10 points and myself getting 5, getting the right score for Shrewsbury Charlton. Did you get any others? Oh, and Blackpool Exeter and Mansfield Cambridge. You predicting 2-1 Mansfield home wins has gone pretty well for you in recent weeks because you did it last weekend. And Ben picked up a staggering 15 points. You got it wrong on your 15, message. You got 15 rather than 16. But correct scores. All of them pretty much, I think, were 2-1. Wycombe Cambridge, got it bang on. Crawley Wrexham, bang on. Mansfield Shrewsbury, bang on 2-1. And I got 1 correct score, Ben. Can you guess which game it was? I'll give you a clue. It ended 2-1.
Blackpool.
Burton Barnsley. I got that. So there is a little bit of
about 12 minutes ago.
There is a little bit of a discrepancy on the on the scores at the minute. Ben is out in front on 62, and I'm slightly lagging behind on 48. So I've got some work to do to try and catch you up.
Could do that, to be fair. I might do that this week. Right, here we are. Right, we'll do it. We'll see what
We'll do what instead of doing them now. We're going to do them as a video.
We're going to do them now, but
fantastic.
We're going to clip this and put it. No, we're not. I'm joking. Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back for another video on the channel. Today we are back with League One predictions. Today we're going to predict all 12 games in League One. Please like, subscribe, up the odds. Each up
There's 3 midweek.
Midweek.
What do you want to do for this, Ben? Because there's 3 games midweek. Do you want to go first or second for these?
You go first, mate. You need all the. How many points are behind me are you now?
Wigan versus Stevenage.
I want to know. I genuinely want to know.
14.
14. Is all that many?
It's not that many. I
14 and you, yeah. 14 and you go hand in hand.
Right. Not on, mister. And that's very rich coming from you. Dare I mention somebody's name? I won't, but very rich.
18, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. 20 was mine, you scoundrel. Wigan Stevenage. Given Stevenage have been pretty crap away from home, I'm going to go for a slight ticked win. I know there's Katie and Charlie in the chat. I also want to keep Barry very happy. So I'm going to go Wigan 2, Stevenage 1.
1-0 Wigan.
You said to me, with the greatest of respect, Jay, your predictions last week, I would not have scribbled any of them out. I wouldn't have said any of them.
I wanted to 1-0 Wigan.
1-0 Wigan. Huddersfield Blackpool at the John Smiths. I think Huddersfield react here. I'm going to go Huddersfield 2, Blackpool 0.
I'm going to go 1-1. Blackpool get a point. Anything here for Blackpool's a good point.
Interesting. Final midweek game, Leyton Orient against Peterborough. I think Posh will come out winners in that one. I'm going to go Orient 1, Peterborough 2.
I'm going to go Orient 1, Peterborough 0.
Right. Right. So we're moving on to next week then, because we have 12 to predict for next week.
I
Ben,
go first for these ones.
You get to go first for these. So I'm going to throw them at you, and you're going to just give me a score prediction. So Crawley versus Bolton.
2-0 Bolton.
I'm trying to think if Crawley are going to finally grab a scalp, because they've played well enough to maybe do so. But I can't leave the door. I'm going to go Bolton 0. Crawley 0, Bolton 1. I think I'll just about get one over the line. Early kickoff as well. Reading versus Huddersfield.
Bolton going down to Crawley on a Saturday 12th. That's awful. Bolton. Who play Huddersfield? What game is it?
Reading. All right, Wardy.
1-0 Huddersfield.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Huddersfield. Big game at St Andrews. It's Birmingham City against Peterborough United.
2-1 Blues.
Yeah, I was going to go. I'm going to go for Birmingham 3, Peterborough 1. We got the last Blues score right. They predicted 3-1. Blackpool play Burton on the seaside, Ben, near your house.
I thought you should give me a location of my house there.
No, I'm just saying the Blackpool Stadium is closer to your house than the Fleetwood Stadium.
Shut the fuck up. 2-0
Benjamin, we've got children here.
It's past 9 o'clock. Blackpool 2-0, Burton 0.
Blackpool 3, Burton 0. I'm going to go for Bristol Rovers. I know you love that impression. Against Wycombe. By the looks of it, Ben is trying to give you some sort of help there. But what are you going to go for this one?
Ben, 2-1 Gas.
2-1 Gas. I'm going to go 1-1.
A good 1 in 6. Promise will score. He's 1 in 4.
Will you stop predicting Promise to bloody score a goal? Right, this is the one I care about. Cambridge Lincoln, Ben, at the Abbey.
2-0 Imps. We are Imps. We are the Imps, we are the Imps, we are the Imps. You actually sing that?
No, that's embarrassing for you, mate. What are you gone for? 2-0 Lincoln. Last year we won there 3-0.
3-0, Tuesday night.
Year before that we lost 2-0, and the year before that we won 5-1. So I'm going to go Lincoln. Well, Cambridge 1, Lincoln 2, I think.
That's very brilliant. Good. What's next?
Oh, God, that's me, isn't it? Orient Wrexham in the capital.
1-0 Wrexham.
Orient 2, Wrexham 1. Northampton Cobblers versus the Stags. The Stags.
2-1 Northampton.
I'm going to go Northampton 1, Mansfield 1. Salop are playing against Rotherham at the Gay Meadow.
1-0 Millers.
Difficult. Shrewsbury 0, Rotherham 2. Matt Farley takes on Charlton.
1-1.
Stevenage 2, Charlton 1. I'm going to go for Wigan versus Exeter.
2-0 Wigan.
Wigan 1, Exeter 1. And then Barnsley versus Stockport, which is the late kickoff for the evening.
Oh, yes. Oh, is it late kickoff? Is that 5:30?
7:45.
Is it?
On a Saturday.
Oh,
I think so. Let me just double check that on SofaScore. But yeah,
2-1
Barnsley.
2-1
Yeah, 28th of September, 7:45. Weird.
They're giving out 6,000 free tickets, aren't they?
What are you going for?
2-1 Barnsley.
Barnsley struggle at home. Barnsley 1, Stockport 1. So that's your predictions. If you want to play along, leave them in the comment section down below, or write them down and keep them to yourself. Let me know.
So I think that is nearly the end of tonight's show. Jake, where can people go and find your podcast, mate?
Oh, which one?
Oh, you just plug away, mate.
I do too, mate. I do a League One live.
Mate,
Can I carry on or not? Rude.
Shut up.
So I do a League One live on a Sunday night with Benjamin Natman or Todd's Vlog. And here you are. You've actually found it. So please come and make sure you watch us every week. We also do, me and Benjamin do that Football League podcast, which we recorded at a reasonable hour today, 12 o'clock. It was a good one, Ben, don't you think?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. Have a bit of conviction. Have a bit of conviction in your voice next time.
Jake,
try and do as hard as Jaden Stockley heads the.
Jake, just give me a minute.
Do you know what? If any of you are T-Flop premium members, I think that is the Ben Natman equivalent of Jack Ward with the headphones.
Just listen to me, right, Jake? So today, I got up at 9 o'clock, right? I got to bed at 1 o'clock through working on this product. I was playing darts. And couldn't get to sleep after that. Hit a 40 average and then did a get a win prize. Woke up as well. Went for a 10. We did 11.2k run, which is 7 mile. Went for a walk, sorted some business out, prep for T-Lop, right? After T-Lop finishes, I do an hour and a half on League 2. I then go shopping, have my lunch, then do an hour and a half on this. Then I watch Arsenal. And I've been on this seat since 6:30 till 9 o'clock. So you talk to me about conviction, Sunshine. I've done 2, 3.
Yes, we're very proud of you,
Also done a members video as well, and done some bits for tomorrow's vlog. So
we're very proud.
And also by helping a young lad out with his content as well in AB7. So in a way, I've been non-stop today, and
You
I'm
are
like
good, aren't you?
I'm not like you that goes and has like 3 days off. I'm like constant, mate.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Who said I've done all the artwork for the amazing new Lincoln City podcast here for the Lincoln. Make sure you come and check us out. Wigan fans in here. I know there's quite a few of you. Our podcast will come out on Tuesday morning. Myself, Fenton, and Lep are recording tomorrow night. So that will come out. And also, if there's any Cambridge fans, we have a Cambridge preview out on Thursday next week as well. So lots of going on here for the Lincoln on all you could Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I'm just going to get the Twitter handle. I think it is, bear with me, because I have control of the Twitter account. It is HFTL1884. If you come over and give us a follow, that would be boss. I'm Jeff Stelling because I'm the older one.
I think I'm a one grumpy man.
Well, you're from closer to Ireland as well, aren't you? And I think technically I probably live quite closer to Hartlepool, I guess. I don't know.
Well, anyway, thank you very much for watching.
Thank you, Charlie.
Please like, please subscribe. If you could leave me a like, that would be so greatly appreciated, as it's been tough tonight with these live shows. So give us a like.
Can we have a round of applause for Ben, please? Can everyone please comment the clapping emoji? We're 30 seconds in front, so Ben's not going to see this for 30 seconds. But everyone else, could you please comment the clapping emoji? We're so well done, Ben. Do you know what? You've done so well tonight. I'm so proud. I feel like an older brother.
Mate, you've done well. You used some good statistics there. You're that promise. One good show in 6. Really good.
Yeah. Next week I'll be back to chat an absolute waffle.
November. Bonfire night. I'll see you there.
I'll be back to chat an absolute waffle next week about how Rotherham somehow have won at Shrewsbury with an XG of 4.78. Yeah, so that's me. Get in.
Comes out. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Please like, please subscribe if you haven't already. We are at, I believe,
all the clap snappers.
I'll come to see the claps in a minute. We are 15,387. So we are 613 away from 16,000 subscribers. So thanks for giving us a subscribe. I'll see you later. Thanks very much for watching.
Oh, was that it? That was a bit premature. Jesus. Can we come back on the screen? But that was a bit premature.
What do you mean?
I want to wave everyone goodbye. Bye, everyone. Thanks for
watching. Bye, all. See what happens. This is behind the scenes. This is when we don't have a banner. This is when we do have a banner. Oh, hello.
Have we got rid of him yet?
What? But anyway, thanks very much for watching. Ciao, ciao. Speak soon. Don't see it through the week. I'll see it through the week. Tomorrow night, Morecambe at home vlog. Get notifications on. Up the cods. Can the cods beat the shrimp?
Official has indicated there will be a minimum of 2 minutes at a time. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Got all the claps. Hashtag love nappers. Love clappers as well. There we go.
Love clappers, hate nappers. Yeah, I love that song.
Oh, yeah. You on Sky tomorrow?
We are on Sky, mate.
Oh, yeah. I will be watching.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going down early. Big game. Go on the cods. Oh, if we can get a result, it'd be a result. If we can get a result,
Jonathan, what? Hello. If anybody can clip the very second that Ben drops his mic and the reaction to it, please clip it and send it to me on Twitter so that I can post it in the T-Flop group chat. Much appreciated. Thank you. Kind regards.
Jake from the Stacey West podcast.
Yeah, all right, mate. I'm not. You can try and get me to slag them off, but I'm not.
Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome. Big thank you to you lot.
Oh, what are these?
Who like to be belong the seaside? Oh, I do.
For members, by the way, this is what you get for members. When I go out, so join as a member, you get content of me singing.
Yours on board, don't you, Ben?
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and fancy joining as a member. There will be a membership video out in the next few days. So thanks for watching. Big thanks to Jake and for making me look good. Bye all.
See you next week.